We are live, and I'm showing LTE on my device. Is it a coincidence? Coincidence? Or no? Let's talk about it. My timeline is full of past, present, and future. Is that a coincidence? I did a reading, and because I do so many readings, I'm not sure if this one was for the public or for the members. But I talked about a passing, right? And in one of these videos, I talked about a little small puffin. If you are a member, you already know. Because if it happens to be behind the scenes, then you were informed before it happened. Now, because everything that I talk about is spiritual, I'm not sure if I said publicly about the parade with the horse and carriage, because this was a spiritual discussion that I was having. So I'm almost certain that this was something that I was discussing with the archangels. Now, because this was over or close to 30 years ago, it was the first time I ever seen any type of homegoing celebration like this. One of my cousins that would have been around the same age, she passed away in an accident. And her husband, the father of all her children, decided that he would put her in a parade with a horse and carriage. Now, y'all are saying that's no big deal, but we from the hood, Hunters Point. So when everyone seen this horse and this carriage all up and down 3rd Street in San Francisco, all through Lee's Corner and Bishop Corner and everything, it brought eyes because I'm sure that no one had ever seen that before. He did his wife justice when he did that because that was her hood and everyone knew who she was. First time I've ever seen that. And to top it, she was memorialized. She was placed inside of a wall, not the ground. Do you understand that? Now, because the way the big G works, right, it was very expensive. He turns on the ears of individuals for a reason. Because there's no such thing as coincidence. See, there's a group that remains silent when they know the archangels are listening. Do y'all feel like that's a coincidence? Because usually you see that when you're going on a date or you are getting married. The reason why it's important is y'all need to understand that I prophesize things, and it's very serious. Very, very serious. Because when I hear all day long, that's my vice, That means something. There's a lot of individuals that know I am not joking around when I work, even if I'm funny. I seen something on my timeline. This is not the first time. A lot of times I'll scroll past things because, it's a lot of sensationalizing, it's a lot of untruth mixed with truth. So I just keep scrolling. I just keep scrolling, keep scrolling, keep scrolling. But this time I stopped. The thing about what's done spiritually, it trickles down into 5D. Y'all do know that that is actual factual. That's not a coincidence. Coincides. Coincidence. It's not. Because so many people play. You know what? You know what? You know what I noticed? That certain celebrities, when individuals in their family unit pass away, it's all kind of untruths told about how that happened. Oh, it's gonna bring a lot of tears because it's the truth. Let me tell you something about insurance. Put an insure in front of it. It takes 6 months to a year before that kicks in. So that's not what he did it with. Some of y'all speculate without having no knowledge. You have to have the basic blueprint first. That means you have to know protocol. If you don't know the protocol, then your thoughts are obsolete. That means you just don't need to think it because it don't make sense to individuals that have lived. And when you start deep, when you got one foot in the spiritual plane and then the other on earth, right? Some stuff may seem like it makes sense, but it don't. But see, now that I'm all the way in that spiritual energy and I just walk the earth, it makes perfect sense because everyone is doing confusion sakatinas now, which they conveniently call kamikaze because it sounds good to them. I'm going to tell y'all right now, if you hear any word that I am saying on live in my videos, these individuals watch me. Why are they watching? Because they know I know it's them. For a fact. For a fact. They want to know if you believe that it's them. I am the number one fact checker walking. Do you understand? So that means when you want to know the facts, you come to me. Now, it's a very serious topic. You know, the Eris put a danger in front of it. Thing about mixing untruths with facts is you in a circle, so it comes back to you. And then all of a sudden you're like, wait a minute. Why is all of this? And then you're quiet because you know you were a part of a circle that decided when I didn't get what I wanted, I needed to it up. The problem is when you speculate that someone is an elect one, and then you proceed to plot. Therein is the issue, because you will have others believing that it is an easy thing to accomplish, and it's not. What I'm looking at, what I was looking at before I turned on the camera, was a bunch of some know how to do it so perfect that you'll almost think that they were there. But I'm telling you that some of these individuals, content creators on this platform, were there with their ear open, listening. You ever just wonder who someone's guides are? You ever just think that they call their guides ancestors? I mean, of course, people with sound mind and body, we know that ancestors mean that they're somewhere in your heritage, you know, your great great great, not your father, not your mother, but your great 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 great. That's what I consider an ancestor. How are you connecting with your ancestors if you're not an ascended being? Is it an ancestor? You know, there was one reader about seven years ago, maybe eight, that she would read and she would stop and listen. And I happened to be observing the comment section. And one of the comments said, "That's a good reader because she waits for instruction before she talks." With me, they want me to flow straight through, like I'm reading a script. And I say, I don't, no one is guiding me, telling me what to say. But for some reason, this reader here, she was so phenomenal in their eyes because she was waiting for instruction. I didn't know that 7, 8 years ago, that beings talk to you in your mind. When I would see someone, on the street talking to themselves as a adult or even a child, I would say they were cray. I didn't know that there was actually energies speaking to individuals in their mind. This is something that happened 1982. So we're not gonna go there. The thing about what I'm talking about is my Y and R's, right? It's something about them Y and R's. That stuff is so far left, and I do mean left. Spiritually, physically, and metaphorically. You have to say, are they really, if I see them every day, does that mean I'm with them after the big G, God, told you to depart? Yes. So there's a question answer, free message. Does that mean if I was there yesterday and I go back today, I'll be present there? Yes. Another question answer. Two, one to go. Does that mean that what she said in that reading was him. Absolutely. Third message, free message. That is it. You know what I'm talking about? Now, I'm trying to I'm trying to just like ease it, you know. Put a I can't do a heartbreak there because a heartbreak would mean it's different. You know what I'm talking about? It's just some things that you know people are capable of doing, people have done, and you can't use certain words, and they know it. The big G knows. The big G is not sitting here confirming that that is true. He's not saying that because of what you requested. Because these ones feels like if Ether does not know the details, then she won't be able to intuit, not intern, what's going on. But it is Ether's job to know. So when I happen to wonder upon confirmation, you know what I do? I say, wait a minute. Yeah, I know. I know that this came up because it's important. It's important because of the details. Let me tell you something. I know a lot about heritage because of my work. I know twice as more about lineage because of my work. And I know that a lot of individuals that made it to the top ain't supposed to be there. And they're questioning, do I know? Now we can all just, go back to our talkative tick and, you know, act like it's not important. You know? We could just, you know, hey, you know, you have free will. You just do whatever you want, long as, you stay within the LAW S's. Yeah, spiritual or man-made. Yeah, it's like y'all remember the nah they put a Lumi in front of it. How everybody would speculate. Oh, they are the original ones. That's what see a lot of people don't like it when I put it out there and I say distortion topic wrong. When I say that the originals were the creator of everything, including Tudors, y'all don't like that. I said I know who the original Tudor is. Because y'all seem to think y'all know who the most wealthy is. It's the Kenas. But you don't. Y'all, you know what I like? The Counting Green challenge. I like that one. I like that one. You know what I like about it? I like saying, just guessing, you know, what they're gonna do with that money after they do their challenge. Is it pay mortgage, buy a car, invest? That's where my mind go when I see the Counting Green challenge. Yeah, lump sum, lump sums of money in your hand. What can you do with that? When you have lump sums of money in your hand, you boast, right? You put it online so everyone will know that you have hundreds and fifties. It is marvelous, right? And then every time you're outside, you have to look over your shoulder because you never know who wants 150. Just all of a sudden, you can get put somewhere where someone needs 150. Just like that. You know what is not talked about? All the snatching. You know, All the snatching that takes place. Do you believe that some get paid to not talk about the things that get snatched from them? Or do they pay individuals to not talk about it? Either or. Come on, let's speculate here. Because you would say if someone walks around with all this money all the time and no security, put a secure in front of it, spiritually or otherwise, someone has to know where you live. See, when they tried with me, just little old me, I'm not a celebrity, you know, drop the Addy, you know what I'm saying? And then they would see their own Addy, phone number, social, all of that, because they needed to realize that you don't play with everyone like that, especially not me. But when they start saying, I'm Clarissa Shields, for instance, they want to see who they could get away with doing it to. This is beings that have ascended, not ascended beings. Were they supposed to be there? Yes and no. I mean, you gotta have a head to step on in order to get to the top. Footstool? It's just gotta conveniently be a big head there. Because what if you got big feet? What else did I see? Oh, I seen the beginning portion of the whole Blueface charade. Well, at least that's what they edited it to look like. I don't do that type of editing. You know, some celebrities, right? Content creators, we have said enough words. They make it look like it's getting almost perfect, right? You mix a little bit of AI in with the truth, and then everyone will, it's not supposed to be, but the protocol hasn't caught up yet. You know what else has not caught up? The paperwork. I said the other day, I said, you know what? We don't have new age protection, the black and white kind, digital protection. We don't have that yet. Because certain individuals that paid for their image to be protected physically has not thought to say, wait a minute, they're using my face. Because some believe that any type of publicity is good publicity. But when you throw AI in it, with AI, they can make you look like you're doing anything. And superimposing, if I'm not, not like the stuff that she do every night when she uses the pendulum. I'm talking about images. You know how they take a face off of someone and put it on somebody else's body? And then it's like the bigger you are, the harder you fall. Everyone comes from everywhere and decides that they are going to make a mockery out of you because you didn't want to talk to them. You ever notice how all of these individuals that sensationalize celebrities, they always want to go to the topic of being with the same gender all the time? Oh, absolutely, all the time. That is number one when they feel like they're going to cause a tower in someone's life. I say it's no big deal. It's 2025, right? It's no big deal. Everyone does it, right? So if everyone does it, why is it the number one go to cause a tower in someone's life? If you know that there's a genre that are already popular and they're out, why do you do it with someone that you know is straight? You know what? It's like messy, too messy. If you know that so I'm not, there was a thing called DAR. Put a happy in front of it. Certain individuals have it. I feel like I have it. What y'all think? I can tell. So when I see certain things, and then what really puts a red flag over your head is when you say that I know this person is an elect one, and then you decide that you're going to cause a tower. We don't like that. Let's normalize not saying that someone is an elect one and then attempting to cause a tower, because then that puts a red flag over your head. The archangels, they want to know who you are and what you are. That's what they want to know. And why us? Why do you want to do that to us? When I said Archangel Raphael is not like that, y'all said it is because it's in this deck, as if the publisher, the creator of that deck, was accurate. I have the deck. I know what the description says. That brought in the era of entitlement. Certain individuals feeling like they are entitled to something when equality hasn't even reached the surface yet. It's so many crabs in a bucket and in a barrel trying to stop certain groups of individuals from going to the top to get out. It's like, Sunday is the perfect day for this discussion. Y'all need to understand that everything on God's green earth has a meaning, has a purpose, and has an explanation. If you were created in distortion, it's for a reason. Book with me. Past life, present karma, energy pool. Because you need to know. If I were to tell y'all some of the visions that I seen years ago, I said, this is happening somewhere. And the archangels, one of them said it already happened. It already happened. When you're going through ascension and you're somebody that travels a lot, you don't notice it. For me, for my type of ascension, I had to stay inside. But a lot of the men and males, they go through ascension traveling. You don't realize that you're entered into a different region spiritually until you notice things. You see things and you say, well, what is that? Why is it like that? For instance, that hog that I seen, it didn't have horns. I said, that is not a pig. What is it? And the individual that came out, the one that wanted my attention, when he seen it, he said, what is that too? He didn't know what it was. You ever just see something and you could put it, case in point. pits, right? Cane corso, bullies. I said everyone now is calling cane their pits cane corsos, and they're not. They're pits. When I said only black cane corsos are cane corsos, I meant that. There are some that y'all believe are cane corso, but they're a mix of bully and pit. How do you know that? Because I can look at them and tell. Of course, there's different breeds of pits. You'll know a cane corso because they are huge and they're always only black, like night. So let's normalize not calling pits cane corsos because they're not. You see, if you see a cane corso, the first thing, if it's not yours, is fear. You're gonna, fear, because those things are huge and they're black. We all know that things that are big and black are scary. Everyone knows that. This is a live live, dual, live live. That's dual. Okay, so live and live is the same word. Yes, yes, it is. That's why I said I'm live. I'm live, not the content creator. Cause y'all like some of y'all just not computing accurately. It's okay. You know, is it a way to protect yourself digitally? Yes, it is. There's a way, especially when they already have a LAW for it. You just gotta notice it. I know for a fact, if you were multi-dimensional, that satire that you released would fight. Because I know it's a protocol somewhere that says, "Oh, it's not gonna happen yet." You just haven't gotten there yet. That is it.